Welcome to the teachings of Christ Jesus in today's Holy Mass with Father Alphonsus. Be empowered in the words of Him who seeks our elevation.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. At that time, Jesus said to his disciples, "Do not think that I have come to abolish the law and the prophets. I have come not to abolish them, but to fulfill them. For truly I say to you, till heaven and earth pass away, not an iota, not a dot will pass from the law, until all is accomplished. Whoever then relaxes one of the least of these commandments and teaches men so shall be called least in the kingdom of heaven. But he who does them and teaches them shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Dear friends, the item of faith does not give any room or any chance for laxity. It is like soldiers on the war front. Before your enemy, any small mistake is fatal, and any small neglect can cost the army its entire defeat. It is important for us to understand spiritual warfare here in the light of being at the war front. Your eyes are always on the enemy, and your mind is always on the laws that have been given on how to overcome the enemy. Many of us have dealt very carelessly with Christianity. The moment any version of Christianity that removes war from its practice is sold to anyone, that person is more doomed than those who have never been Christian. It was the biggest mistake for us to have sold Christianity as a religion of joy, of peace. It's a religion of war. You tell me one moment that Jesus Christ rested, one moment. There were two great realities that followed the Lord Jesus Christ in his mission. Either he was walking, doing good, the stress of doing good because there was so much evil to repair. Yes or no? Or he was being fought against by those who felt that he was doing good. The simple reason why he was killed was because he was doing good. So how dare me imagine that I will be loved or that I will be accepted? So how do we now escape? How did he escape? He focused his eyes on the enemies. Fix your eyes on your enemies and watch your friends. Put your life in your own hands, and then victory will become your name. How can Christians live Christianity without the vision of war? Have we read the Acts of the Apostles? Look at people who are bringing goodness, showing the power of God. Let me tell you, our days seem to even be better. Because how can somebody bring food and people ate and were satisfied? And then some people say, people ate and were satisfied. The person that made them to be satisfied, we need to kill the person, otherwise people will keep being satisfied always. You don't believe that's the kind of society we are in? Of course we know. It's the reason why we are not bold enough to do good. It's the reason why we are all hiding. And then we got used to the version of Christianity that makes us slaves rather than kings and queens as we're meant to be. Moses speaking in Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 1, and then later from verse 5 to 9, was telling the people of Israel, "Give heed to the statutes and the ordinances which I teach you, and do them, that you may live, and go in and take possession of the land which the Lord the God of your fathers gives you. He says, behold, I have taught you statutes and ordinances, as the Lord my God commanded me, that you should do them in the land which you are entering, to take possession of it. He says, keep them and do them, for that will be your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the people. You are not living in ordinary days, so it is constant war. Your mind must be fixed on the goal. Your heart must be conscious of where you are. How dare we think that we are secured in our homes? It is only a matter of time. It is only a matter of time. But God is always present with those who contemplate Him. I must tell you something in this church. You know, we've had some certain level of victory in St. Mary's Catholic Church. You know, many of us don't know what is happening underground. Many of us don't know what is happening in the spiritual sphere. You know, on Sunday, we had already lost a child in this compound, this past Sunday. If not for what they call end time intervention, where a woman had to now use her hand because there was no other way, use her hand, broke the teeth of a child and slipped the hand in between the upper teeth and the lower teeth to save that child. Do you know what that would have meant? Has that happened before in this compound? That the child died in this compound? Can you bear that name in this area? Look, the moment you choose to serve God, the devil takes note of you. But the question is, why does he take note of you? Why wouldn't he leave you? Because you are on the right path. So it is foolish Christianity to ever think that we must be relaxed, that God has fought all the wars. Anyone who is telling you that Jesus has already paid all the sacrifice, therefore there is no need. Jesus has already paid the sacrifice. You know, I was just imagining what happened when Jesus struck Saul. Why did Jesus not just give Saul what to do? Since you communicated with Saul one-on-one, it is not his work to do. He struck Saul, who was about going for a mission to destroy Christians, having killed Stephen and many others. But imagine Jesus, who already had a connection with Saul, telling Saul to go to some place. Somebody is going to tell him what to do. And then the same Jesus now went to the person who was to do what he's supposed to do, to tell him that, look, Saul is a servant that I'm going to use mightily. So this is what you are going to do to him. Go and do this, go and do this. Why did Jesus not do it? Why did Jesus not do it? I tell you. Why did Jesus not do it? Because this thing is consistent everywhere. Why did God not strike Pharaoh and just lead the children of Israel out? Why did he need Moses? Why must a man be an operational tool within the covers of humanity to carry out good acts? Because in the mind of God, God is saying, you people are the ones living on this earth. You people are the owners of this earth. You people are the ones that are supposed to stand for goodness. And let me tell you something. If the Jews had used their wisdom during the period of Joseph to have carried their seed and gone to another nation to go and plant, they would not have been slaves then. When we don't take initiative to do what we are supposed to do, that is when God tries to intervene. But even when God is intervening, he does not do the work himself. We have to do the work. Okay, look at this condition. There is Cornelius. Cornelius is a pagan by every estimation, a Roman proconsul. But he loves God, the God of Israel. He even fasts and prays, seeking for the revelation of God in his life and in his family. He is on the one hand. And then you have Peter, who knows Jesus, a disciple of Jesus, on the other hand. Imagine an angel appearing to Cornelius, and he was afraid. What did the angel tell him? He said, God has heard your prayers. It was the day that he ended his fasting that this was happening. Imagine a Roman proconsul fasting. He says, God has heard your prayer. And he was not just only a prayerful person, he was involved in doing good. There were good things in his hands. So God sees human beings that are working, that are carrying out action. But many of us are just where we are. We lock ourselves inside the house and we are expecting the glory of God, when we have not carried out. How many good things can be traced to us, first of all? How many sacrifices have we made for other people? An angel appeared to a man who was not meant by every means to be in the midst of those who are called the virtuous. Now again, here is the twist. If an angel could appear to a man, why did the angel not just beautify that man, arrange his house? No, the angel told him to send for somebody. The angel gave him a name, fully and completely. Send for Peter. Now, an angel from heaven came to see a man. What does that man need a human being for again? Another human being for again? To do what? But this is something you and I need to start thinking about. Why does God act like this? He told Cornelius to send for a man named Peter. That you have been good. So God, who sees a man that he has been good, why did God not just reward him? Why was it that God was now waiting for another man to come and do for this man what needed to be done? Have you thought about that before? It worries me. It's the reason why I'm telling you, look for your Jesus Christ, so that we can have information. Let us even know where we are. I cannot be a Christian and I don't know the foundation of secrets that defines Christianity. I refuse to be that kind of Christian anymore. Now, why the angel was speaking to Cornelius, asking him to send for Peter, that Peter knows some things. There are some things Peter knows that Peter will come and tell him. Now, look, imagine an angel. An angel hoping on Peter. Oh, you can see where we have missed it. You can see the reason why earth will burn and nothing will happen. Because you and I have been given the charge to repair things. We are not repairing anything. We are not repairing anything. You and I have been given the charge. The good that we expect to be done, we don't do it. We are expecting God to come and do it. We will burn. We will burn. And it's coming very soon. Look, our eyes will clear. Everybody is doing kati. Both priests, people, everybody doing kati. No knowledge, no insight. How do we not see the signs of time? The church currently is a failure. And you know the reason why the church is a failure? Because the church did not take up the bandwagon of goodness. Yes, I'm telling you. We hide inside our churches. No good thing is happening. Look at children who are not trained everywhere. And the church does not have concern to take care of them. Look at orphans who are going around. Where do you think criminals are picked from? The devil knows how to do this thing. We that Jesus Christ entrusted responsibility to, we have abandoned it. The devil goes after abandoned children and turns them into devils. Do you know how loyal those children will be to the devil? Do you know how loyal those children will be to the devil? Now, Peter received a vision. At that moment, Cornelius received an angel. Kill and eat. You see, you are a God. You know what God did to Peter there. God was making a transaction with Peter. Why? Because Peter has the power to resist. The Jews are forbidden to relate with any other nation. Cornelius is a Roman proconsul, so he is a proper Gentile and a sinner. Yet an angel is appearing to him. But an average Jew, we call him a demon that you should not relate with. That's how Jews are. And Peter is a core Jew, the illiterate one of it that does not even know the one they call social interaction. So you saw what God did. God is making a transaction. The one is called Abedo. What do they call it in English? Abedo. Well, there's some people there. Orano Fiabedo. I don't know how to put it now. Like you have feferity. Imagine God is doing feferity for a small Peter, and then what did God do? God presented a sheet of various meat, which includes pork meat, and the instruction says, "Kill and eat." And then even Peter resisted God and said, "No, I have never eaten this kind of thing before. We don't eat pork. We don't eat this. We don't eat that." And God now said, "What I have made clean, no one has the right to make dirty." This happened 3 times. When did it happen? Peter himself was fasting, and he was praying to end his fast, and he was very hungry. So you see how God targeted him when he was hungry, and all that. He now presented that dream. That trance repeated itself 3 times. After he finished that dream, that was when the people that Cornelius sent looking for Peter came. And then the same God still told Peter that there are 3 men who are looking for you. They came from the house of Cornelius. So why does God depend on Peter to go and do this work when Cornelius is a virtuous man? If Cornelius is a virtuous man and an angel can connect with Cornelius, why did the angel not just do everything? Now, I was curious. What is Peter going to do that God cannot do? And here it is. Peter, now knowing that this dream was meant for Cornelius, because he is not supposed to relate to Cornelius. So he now went to Cornelius and told Cornelius that God has permitted us to relate with everybody. God told me directly. And then, what did Peter do? You are the one to bear the witness, not the heavens. That was my understanding of everything. You are the one to bear the witness. Jesus Christ said, "Go into the world and proclaim my gospel." But Jesus Christ has numberless angels. Why would the numberless angels not do it? Because there is something Jesus knows that we are refusing to know. You yourself, you are an angel. In this dimension, you are the one to carry out these functions. Angels have other dimensions where they are carrying functions. We don't know anything about this earth. I hope you know when you see a bush, you don't know anything about that bush. It's only the picture that your eyes see, that you see. You don't know anything about that bush. You see the field that is in your compound. As small as this compound, if a scientist comes here, he can write a book that's as big as the Bible about the things that are found in this compound. But all you see is just green. That is how life is. We are here. This life is what our eyes can see, what our experience can get. Is nowhere close to the reality that's of this life. So angels are busy, very busy. But we are wondering, if angels are busy, where are they doing the busybody? Where? Oh, you see, let us just do the one we are supposed to do. Because what we are supposed to do is very small. Just witness to truth. Look at your church. Look at your environment. Look at your area. Look at your next door neighbor. Look at children that are living wayward lives. Look at people who are poor in your community. Look at those who are not able to afford food. Look at children who cannot go to school because they don't have money. Look at that. It is a very small demographics, my dear brothers and sisters. We should look at all those things. We should wake up. We should be alive. We should be active. We should do what we are meant to do. Matthew chapter 5 from verse 17, Jesus was saying, "I have not come to abolish the law and the prophets. I have come to fulfill them." You see, the same thing happened in the Old Testament. God would have been able to save the children of Israel, but he was waiting for 430 years for somebody like Moses to rise. Why did he not do it? And then he now meets Moses at the burning bush and says, "I have heard the cry of my children." These children have been crying for 430 years. How come? God didn't talk. Because there was no human being that was ready for the action. It was clear. Look, don't practice this fake Christianity that's making all of us comfortable. We are very comfortable, and that's very dangerous.
Please
And
like,
that
share,
is not
and if you
Christianity.
haven't,
When
hit the
Jesus Christ
subscribe
started,
button
he didn't
and
rest
join us
until he
for
died.
daily
When the
reflections.
apostles started, they didn't rest until they died. How come we have started and then we are resting and then we are not engaged? Myself inclusive.
Please like, share, and if you haven't, hit the subscribe button and join us for daily reflections.